Today we have an amazing show, and as you can see, Monica's right here in person with me. So we are going to talk about, do you need more visibility on your brand? If you do, you're in the right place. Welcome. So today we're doing things a little bit different than we normally do. So it's going to be a fun day. You picked the great day to tune in live. And as always, you are our co-host on the couch. If you have questions or comments, jump in, chime in. We would love to hear from you while we are having this conversation. And today, everyone made it easy on me. I only have to remember two names, Monica, which I've known for years, so I can't mess up her name, and Steve. So that's it. I'm not going to mess up any names today. So we are good on that. So let's get to know our guest. So the question I want to know is, why? I see that you're the creators of Go Connections. Why did you create this?
Yeah, listen, it's a very, very interesting story. Myself, with networking for many, many years, you come along many interesting people. And fortunately, I met Steve Bortenberg, and he's a very interesting person that you already know. And through some conversations, we realized there was a gap in the networking world, really. And we said, what can we do that's going to really help people in business really get their message out there? As they said, it's all about being visible. But how can we do it so it's affordable for everyone and not just for the big networking groups that are out there? And when we sort of put our ideas together, that's when Go Connections really started. And we just started it in May of this year. Isn't that right, Steve?
Yeah, certainly was. I think one of the biggest things for us, though, is because we've both been in business before, we wanted to give the ability for people to be able to network, but in a kind of free way, where, you know, with our affiliation program, every person that joins Go Connections via their link, we're paying them back £5 per person per month. So theoretically, they can bring 3 people, network for free globally.
Yeah, it's a really very interesting situation where we always tell people about effective networking. And this is exactly where effective networking can really, really work really strongly for you, for your visibility, for your credibility. And then in business, especially if you know about your brand, you want to make sure you've got that profitability as well. And networking is one of the surefire ways that you should be connecting with people, building relationships. And that's why myself and Steve said, we need to do something. And we started in May, and it's went absolutely crazy since then.
That's actually really cool. So I'm going to ask you, what led you to partner up with these guys?
So as y'all know, I'm always yelling, get motivated, stay inspired, keep networking and gain knowledge. And when we were looking at what we were offering as a community, the one piece that we didn't have very strong, we do a lot of networking kind of in the co-working space, and we do a lot of networking in the space of you know, there are events that are happening because of the members in the community are sharing it in our private group. But we didn't really have that like thing that we send people to for networking specifically. And so I was kind of excited when they developed this. The Steves and I have known each other for about a year now through one of the networking groups that we were part of, and then kind of like all the other things that we're also part of together. And they've been on the conferences as speakers. And so as they were developing this, they were like, hey, we got something really awesome happening, and it would be great if your MinkLife people could be involved in it. And I was like, okay. And so when they told me about it and how there was all of these networking events that are happening on a monthly basis, and with one membership, you're able to actually have access to all of those things, it was a no-brainer for me of like, well, we're always telling them to keep networking. This will give them an opportunity to actually do the networking that we wanted them to do in the first place. So that was one of the reasons why MinkLife Motivation, as we were thinking about how can we support those thought leaders, change makers, coaches, and experts who are in our community, how can we support them more And we're always telling them to do this. So now we're giving them an opportunity to be able to kind of step into those seats. And so it's really exciting to collaborate. And that's really kind of how we do anyways, collaboration. So it's like one more step of deepening that relationship with our collaborative partners.
So none of us here would have known each other without networking. We met 6 years ago in a networking, and we became friends. And we didn't really do businessy stuff together for years.
Mm-mm.
And then the last 3 years, we've been, partners in crime.
Like inseparable all the way across the board.
Yeah. And I met the Steves because they were speakers at one of our conferences.
Exactly.
And so, networking, I think some people think of networking as, hey, I'm going to go sell my stuff to people. But no, it's about making authentic relationships that are going to enhance your personal life, your business life, and all the areas of your life. Our kids are friends. Our husbands are friends. We kind of had, the perfect match where we could go hang out because everybody else is happy hanging out with them. So, but that all comes in connecting, and that can get expensive. So this is brilliant. I'm so excited about this. So let's get motivated. And Steve, whichever Steve wants to take the floor, why is networking so important for building your brand?
Well, Monica, you know me so well, and the businesses that I have, every single one of them have been formed and built using networking. Every single one of them. So if you really want to get your brand out there, like even if you look at us today, we've got online or offline, you have to have your brand about you. If you want people to see you, visibility is so important. But networking has got 3 parts. The first part is the visibility for your brand. The next part is credibility for your brand. And if you have visibility and credibility, profitability comes there. So that's why when you're out there networking, as you said, Peggy, you do not sell to the room, you sell through the room. So the people need to get to know you. So networking is a sense about relationships, it's about people buy from people. So if people understand, get to know you, then they actually get to see your brand, they understand the values of your brand. So therefore, that's when the credibility comes in. And then that's when they introduce you to people who then want to do business with you. And that's where the profitability comes in. So networking is so important to make sure your brand is out there. Steve B?
Yeah, I was just going to say that on the networking, I think that before April this year, I was in 4 or 5 different networking groups, and you're building up the know, the like, the trust with all the members. But it's also about finding them new members as well. And I think what we've created with our collaboration is, for whatever networking group you're part of within the collaboration, you can now access all them people across soon to be 12 networking groups and build more know, like, trust relationships. So I think it's very important.
Awesome. Monica.
So nothing in my life worth anything has not come from a networking experience. So every single tiny little thing, from the school my daughter goes to the logo that I have, to the headshots that I have, all of the things came from networking. And so it's so essential in 2 ways. The first way is, in building a brand, there are so many people out there who are experts in building a brand, that networking with them and getting their insight and even being around their genius can rub off on you. That influence can rub off on you. But then there's the flip side of that, is once you build a brand, someone's got to see it. And I don't know about you, but I'm not sitting on, $50,000 where I can run a television ad, or I can run, a big billboard on the side of the highway. So as small business owners, the networking is how you end up giving those billboards, but in those commercials in real life. And the more times people can see you and hear you, and the more times you actually say those words, the better you get at it, the more people connect with you, and the opportunity for you to actually get at least people to your calendar enough so that they can say yes. is going to be higher. I always say my job is not to sell my program, but it's to sell the idea that you want to come and have a conversation with me on those commercials. And then once you want to have a commercial with me, then when you sit in front of me, I got to be so passionate about what I'm doing that you're like, well, whatever that is that you're drinking, I want to drink it too. And you want to do that as well. And so if you are passionate about what you're doing and you're getting people in front of you to be able to talk about it, then that profitability that Steve was talking about, you know, the beautiful part about two Steves is like both can take credit for it, right? What Steve was talking about actually kind of like shows up on a daily basis. Are you creating that luck for yourself? Are you giving yourself preparation so that you can have opportunities to be successful? And that's really what it boils down to. So
awesome.
There you go.
So I want to ask the Steves, how does this actually work? Like, you know, I've been a part of many networking groups over, you know, the span of my businesses and my lifetime. So what makes this so unique and so amazing? Tell us how this works.
Yeah, well, initially when we started Go Connections, it was just going to be 6 events in the UK. Speed networking, master connections, which is more about business question types, sort of masterminds, and fast connections, which you come in, you do your pitch, and then that's the event finished. And then myself and Steve, we had another chat and we said, there's something that's really missing globally in the networking world for all the smaller networking organizations. People want to meet and connect with other people. And our name, Go Connections, is all about go and get those connections. So then we said, right, what more can we then add that adds value to not just our community, but also everybody else's community? So we actually started speaking to some other networking groups that we were part of, and we knew the founders, and said, would you like to get involved with the Go Connections Global Collaboration Networking? And they said, what does that mean? And they said, well, if you've got paid members, and we've got paid members, our paid members can access all your events, and your paid members can access all our events. So we started with 1 partner, and then the week later it was 2, then it was 3, 4, 5, and now the point we've actually, which is coming soon, we'll talk about in a minute, is where we're going, different continents and different partners and the opportunities that are appearing. Now that if you're a paid member of any of our partners or a member of Go Connections independently, you get access to over 100 plus networking events to choose from every single month. So it doesn't mean you need to go to all of them. It means you can try them all out and try and find people that maybe in your niche or have that sort of connections where you're tapping into them to introduce you to. Could be someone in the UK, someone in Africa, someone in Australia, someone in America, or anywhere, maybe Philippines. We've got people that are coming in from all different countries. So it's a great opportunity to get those connections in one place. And it means you don't need to be members of 10 different organizations. You just have to be one. Steve?
Yeah, as I was saying earlier, I mean, before April, I was a member of 5 different networking groups, paying 5 different memberships. You know, and I think with what we're doing with Go Connections, it also kind of protects all the networking groups, because, you know, if one networking group has 20 meetings, you think, oh, brilliant, you know, I can go to 20 meetings. But the thing is so is all the other members of that networking group. So what we create with a collaboration, where we've now got, from the 1st of November, 12 different networking groups, you've got 12 different ponds to swim in. And also as well, you know, if I, for example, say I was a member of one group, and that was meeting, say, 2 o'clock on a Thursday, and all of a sudden I'm not available 2 o'clock every Thursday, I then might question, okay, is the membership I'm paying for that networking group still realistic? But because they're part of the collaboration, I'm now looking at not just their events, it's the other 120 events I can access by keeping my membership with that one networking group. So, you know, what we created is also good to bring more fresh people. You know, if we bring, for example, 6 guests to one of them networking groups, that networking group's members have now got more people to speak to and arrange their one-to-ones with. So it's the big picture.
I love that. And it's all about the big picture, because when you're in a networking group, I know, you kind of see the same 15 people every week
over and over and over
and you know, that's great and wonderful, and every once in a while, you know, a fresh face will come in. But but this is like always a fresh face, and it's beneficial to those groups because, hey, this is you've got your core group and you got all these other people that are joining and may become a core member and show up every week, or may just go to the events. Either way, that's someone else to talk to. That's a really brilliant. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. When they were kind of sharing with me about it, and I was actually in person when we were talking about it at a pub with Steve B. We were talking about it in depth. And it was really kind of one of those things where it's like, this is actually what's been missing in the networking space for a very long time, because we're making choices between, do I choose this group or do I choose this group? And having those two different groups competing for the same dollar. And in this case, they don't have to compete for the same dollar. I can choose my home group or my home community to be a part of that. I'm like, okay, yeah, I definitely want to join this group. And I want to be a part of this network. But I'm going to dabble in all these other ones as well, because they're beneficial to me. And what I want to say is 180 different events sounds really aggressive, but the beautiful part about them being open every single month is this month I can pick 3 and not have FOMO, because next month I can choose another 3 and then the next month I can choose another 3 and the next month I can choose another 3, and it can continue to go down that path. And if I find another one that's like, wait, I really love this group too, then I can invest further and say, okay, now I want to spend more money to be a part of even more access that they have in that community as well. So that was one of the reasons why I'm saying, that sounds daunting. And I know like when we're trying to brand ourselves, the first thing any business coach will tell you is like, join networking groups and get out there and start telling people about your business. This is a great tool for you to be able to do that and not have to feel the paralysis by analysis of like, I can't choose one, so I'm going to choose none. This is really kind of useful in that. And that was why I was so excited to kind of like add this as a part of something that we wanted to promote for MinkLife as a collaboration, because it's so important to network, and especially for your branding. And so this is a great way to do it.
And networking gives you the opportunity to practice, practice telling what you do, practice getting to know, listening to the feedback that you get and perfecting that, so that when you're at the grocery store and somebody asks you what you do, you're like, oh, well, it's not like, oh, well, you can look at my website. It's like, no, I just want you to tell me.
On that, Monica, is what we tend to find as well. If people are new to networking, we'll arrange a one-to-one with them to help them practice their pitch. We introduce them to our speed network we do in the UK and also in the USA, so we can have them one-to-ones with them and bring them into a community where we already know everyone. So we're kind of introducing them people slowly and helping that person grow. But we're all about having as many one-to-ones as we can with all of our members. And my diary is open, so people can book as many one-to-ones as they can to get them in the right direction. We want to find out. We're not just going to say, hey, come to our events. We want to find out what kind of networking they're looking for, and also help them then connect on LinkedIn and grow their business. We're not just about us. We are, again, looking at the bigger picture.
I love that.
Yeah. Again, definitely fits into the space that we're in. We are not about vanity numbers or like members for the sake of membership, but that real people offering real help in real time. And so that's why this partnership was really kind of the ideal fit, because in the end, I'm like, yeah, I can have people, I can send people to this, but if they sign up and it becomes another one of those apps that are taking money out of the bank account and they're not leveraging it, how can we help people really access that? And so being able to have someone like Steve or myself even to kind of like walk you through and say, okay, this might be a good opportunity for networking, or this might be a good opportunity for networking is great. We actually have an action planning course specifically designed to help you like identify like what you should be networking, where you should be networking or building your network in, so that you can actually do that. And so once you have that, then this is the next step. Go in and start getting in those events. And so again, the partnership is just so lovely. It's just so lovely.
And it's funny because we kind of answered, we've already touched on the next question that I'm going to ask, but I'll ask it anyway. And that is, who are some of the key groups and how do we pick? I love that you're, hey, we'll help you, direct you and guide you. But who are some of the, I mean, you're in the UK, we're in the US, and, you know, I know this is a global networking, and some people's businesses are global because they're based, you know, on the internet, and some people are more in person. So this is awesome. So tell us, who are some of your, you know, throw some names out there at us, and also.
Okay, some of the UK ones, we have This Social, which is the one where we met all together, myself, Steve, and Monica. This Social, fantastic. There's also Club 555. Again, that's a Scottish-based one. Down in England, we've got BuzzCom, which is just a local. It's in Northampton, just where Steve is. We've got your partnerships. We've got TDBCA, which again, they do events throughout the UK. We've got a couple of Australian partners. We've got B2B. We've also got Bobby's. And then 1st of November, it's coming soon. Go Connections will have its own 6 events for the American network. But also we're starting to now talk to other American networking partners. And we already have 3. So we have MBX. I'm sure you know Blaney Teal and their people. And also Terry Lee Harrison's coming on with virtual team with their networking as well. And Steve, who's the other one from America that we're speaking with just now?
Oh, good question. It's Network in Action.
Yeah, Network in Action.
That's to be confirmed, but hopefully that's going to be confirmed hopefully by tomorrow, because if they are coming on board, we need to get their details in over the weekend to be ready for Tuesday, the 1st of November.
1st of November. And we're speaking, myself and Steve, we've got another 23 networking groups that have already reaching out to us to say, when can we chat with you to get on board? Yeah. So we're really excited, but we need to make sure we're bringing in the right partners at the right time so we don't flood it too much. As Monica had said, it can be a lot of events. Mm-hmm. We know where we're going to be in a year's time.
Yeah.
It's going to be phenomenal. But everyone needs to understand you need to find, and as Monica said, you don't rush. Take your time. You've got lots of time to do it. Going all through all the partners. And one thing that's great about the Go Connections website is when you come in, when you remember you get access to the calendar, when you choose one of the events, it will tell you when the event is actually running in your local time, wherever you are. So you don't need to work out the time zones like we had today.
And also on that, Steve, as well, going back to Peggy's question, which events are right for me? You know, in the search facility on the website, you can type in HR or fitness or nutrition, and it just shows the events for that kind of topic. So, or you can just type in Go Connections, type in speed networking, what events you're looking for. You can just type it in the search bar, click enter, and it brings up the results. And again, you know, having it in time-friendly calendar, so you're seeing it in your time zone with a countdown to the event, a one button access here, straight into the event, nice and easy.
I love that.
Yeah, it really is a fun tool for sure, and I am of the mind of really be clear about what your goals are for your business, right? Be super cut, because there's so much that you can do, right? And the tool is only as good as the person who is using it, right? And so there's so much you can do with this tool. So the first thing I would say is know exactly how you want to network. And I know in some of our conferences, Steve G said that you gotta have different pools to swim in, and you gotta know which ones are which parts of your business. And so what I would say is know exactly what you're trying to achieve. What am I trying to achieve here? And then go ahead and choose the first set of places that you're going to go based on what you're trying to achieve. So if the idea is, you know what, I'm beta testing a program, I'm just getting it out there, and I'm not necessarily trying to sell it, but I more so need to hear, feedback from other people in the industry. You might go and look at groups that have more peers in them, who are more on the same level of like, okay, what do you think? Or maybe you're like, I need actual advice on how to get this off. Maybe you go into a group where you're the small fish in the big pond, right? Or maybe you're ready to launch and it's time for you to, share your program or share what you're doing so that you can get clients in. Then you go into a space where all of your customers are going to be. And so in being able to kind of know exactly what it is that you want to do is going to help you really make a decision on which one of these events you're going to use in the Go Connections tool. And again, a phenomenal tool for that, because how many of us have been on Eventbrite scrolling, like just trying to find something, or Meetup scrolling, and you're like, is it worth the $20? I don't know. I'm not sure. And so this is a great way for you to be able to try some things for one price instead of multiple prices. So I love it.
Awesome. Also, Monica, is when we look at our events, within all the groups within the collaboration, some groups are very structured. But we've also got a group that's a very good friend of mine, a guy called Sean. He runs an event every Friday morning UK time, but it's just open for 3 hours, and you can literally just drop in whenever you want to, have a coffee, have a chat, and build up that confidence to learn your pitch to go then to all the bigger networking groups and grow your business. So whether you know what you're doing or you need help, we've got events for everyone.
That is awesome. I'm so excited about this. Thank you for taking the time to share this with me. And it looks like we have a comment from the couch out here. Hey, Irina. Hello, everyone. Great to see you. Thank you for watching and commenting.
All right.
So it is time for our final question, and that is gain knowledge. So I want each of you to share one tip for building your brand in networking groups. So what is your one? I know all three of you are like wordy. So one tip.
Right, okay. I'm going to go back. I think I might have covered this maybe when I was speaking at Monica's event, but because I do a lot of effective networking, is when you go to a networking event, you need to know who you want to be introduced to. So always be prepared. Always be prepared to name someone, a company name, the name of the person you want to speak to, or the business type, because that's when you're going to get introduced to people who you really want to be speaking to. Not the room. Who do you really want? So do that bit of preparation. Name of the company, name of the person you want to be introduced to, but specifically what type of business category would you like to be introduced to? That's my one major tip for your brand, because that's going to help you get to the right people who are going to help you in your brand.
Awesome.
Okay, so for me, it's a case of when you're working out your presentation or your pitch to attract them people, focus on the logical and the emotional, because the logical is this is how it works, this is how it happens, and the emotional is this is how it's going to make you feel. So there's two parts to your pitch. When you're attracting the audience, focus on the logical and the emotional at the same time.
Absolutely. All right, Monica.
Okay, so my one tip is to follow the Simon Sinek rule of putting your 1 minute pitch together, which is why, how, what. Those are the only three things that you need in your pitch. Why should someone do this? Or why does someone work with you? How do you help them? And what are they going to get out of it? Or what do you want them to do next? And having that very strong call to action at that point. And it should always be, let's connect. Let's get together. Don't sell the product, sell you, and be authentic. That's a lot of more tips than one. I'm sorry, Peggy. I broke all the rules. There you go.
Well, I'm gonna share a tip, and that is remember that your pitch is a conversation. It's not you're not talking to people, you're talking with people. And so when you center your pitch around them, it doesn't come off salesy and cold. It comes off warm and friendly.
There you go.
Yay. All right. It is time for announcements.
As we say, announcements. They really like when I sing that song. Anywho, so the announcements, we are excited. So all of this has been, the title of the show today is This Just In. And that's because all this conversation we've been having about our Go Connections partnership is the huge announcement for the day. So we at MinkLife Motivation have not only partnered with Go Connections to support promoting Go Connections as a tool to use, but we have added it as a part of our Mingle membership. So if you are a member of the MinkLife Motivation community and a Mingle member, you will get Go Connections as a part of your membership. So how you would do that is so simple. You go to minklifeuniversity.com, you scroll all the way to the bottom of the page, and at the bottom where they have the memberships, the very first membership, baseline membership, this is not even like step up level or the next level, the very basic membership covers your Go Connections membership. So you want to go to www.minklifeuniversity.com so that you can be a part of the Go Connections membership. So excited. And is there something else?
Well, I was going to just yes and that a little bit because sometimes Monica doesn't say the things that I find quite phenomenal. So I want to just add that you aren't, for the $79, you're not getting just the Go Connections. You're getting the Minkubator, you're getting the conferences, you're getting all the things. And on top of that, we didn't up the prices. It just on top of that, you not only get all the speaking opportunities with this community, you also get this. So this is pretty cool.
Yes,
pretty cool.
All of this. So you get Go Connections, you get the Minkubator, you get to be a co-host on the couch with us here, and all of the collaborative opportunities that we have in MinkLife, where you're getting your podcast out, you're able to actually be a part of our publications and being a co-host. You are able to co-work with us crazy people 6 days a week, multiple hours a day, and we're working on it being 24 hours a day. So you have that as a capability. You have the private app as well, where you're connected to all of these wonderful people, and you can watch videos, and you can do direct messaging, and you can ask questions, you can share your expertise. All of that is included in your Mingle membership at a basic level. This is not the upgraded version. This is the basic level at $49 a month. And that is really kind of unbeatable, right? Like, where do you get access to real people in real time and real networking all hours of the day, because they're global, and all of the courses and the conferences and all of those things for one price? We have made it super easy for you to just as Colleen would say, show up, be you, and get paid. So I feel like if you haven't really kind of realized, if you haven't went to Mingle, or if you haven't tried it out, the beautiful part is the whole entire thing. You can do a 14-day free trial. So you could actually start playing. I'm a show and prove girl. You know that. I don't, everybody's like, oh yeah, we'll help. And then they ask you to put a bunch of money down, and then you get in there, you're like, I'm lost and I don't know what it is. No, show and prove. I challenge you to come and hang out with me for 14 days directly with me in Zoom, and we figure all of this out for you together just by going to that link right there at the bottom of the screen and getting on your 14-day free trial, where you can actually start working with us. Peggy's there too. Peggy's there too, and so is Colleen and Irina and all of the other regulars that you see on the show. We're all there working together, and we are waiting for you to come in and get this business hug. Come on, come and get it. And so that is our just in, our big announcement, because we are growing our collaborations, and we want you to grow your collaborations as well. And I'm so excited that the Steves, we call them the Steves in our community, the Steves have come on today to share this. Is there any other things that you guys want to add to the announcement of what is going on here?
I think that the timing is just perfect. The timing is perfect, not just for where we are. We're 6 months in. We've been ironing out all the rough spots to make sure that the networking is made simple for yourself and your community. We've been great supporters of MinkLife for a long time. And I think the two of myself, and I'm sure Steve will say something, I think that bringing us together even closer is going to help your community and our community even better. Because I know there's people in our community haven't experienced MinkLife yet. They're gonna. They're gonna. Steve.
Yeah, the only thing I want to say is, come on over to Monica's place. Hey, you, we're having a party.
Yes. Absolutely. So that is the big announcement. If you are not sure exactly, or you're just tuning in, you need to go and just get in so that you can get MinkLife plus Go Connections all in one prize, baby.
All right. I think we did it.
I think we did it too.
This was awesome. Thanks for hanging out with us. And I am excited. Tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific time, be here, same place. Colleen is going to facilitate an amazing show for you. And I think that's it. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
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 Ha